Welcome back to Cherry Picking Fantasy Hockey Podcast presented by Owner's Box. Today we have the return of Devin Simser.
Yeah.
He was on the very first episode. He comes back. Devin, how's it going?
I'm excited to be here. It's been a great day. Lots of sleep, lots of coffee.
We're ready to talk bounce-back players. So these are obviously guys who had, I guess you can call them very shit years.
Disappointing for sure.
Yeah, disappointing. Drew is a PG-13 type of guy. So we're going to go.
I'm okay with the word shit.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe not.
That's in you're allowed saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you buy Manscaped. You want to shave your balls, use code BOX. You get 20% off and free shipping. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. We potentially have some guests coming, so a little sneak peek. Some guests coming on the show.
Join our Discord if you need the link. It should be in the bio. If it doesn't work, just contact us. We get you the link for sure. Talking all fantasy hockey there in the Cherry Pickin Discord.
Yeah, it's been great. We talk strategy in there. If you have any more questions, feel free to pop by the Discord and ask them in there. So let's start off here. Drew, give us your first bounce back.
My first bounce back is probably a lot of people's bounce back this year. It's Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. ADP is currently 47, puts him at the back end of the fourth round. Mm-hmm. I like Elias Pettersson early third round. I think once you get past that, there's a clear top 20, 22 guys. You could pick anybody in the next 10, and I think Pettersson's a good a pick as any, comparable to guys like Tavares or Stone. I mean, Pettersson presents the most pure offensive upside out of anyone really in that round. Only 10 goals, 11 assists in 26 games last year. We got to give the Canucks a do-over here. That was a horrible season with
that COVID scare.
Yeah. Like, we can't be too low on the Canucks after COVID completely ruined their season, ruined all their momentum, ruined all their health, to be honest, right? The entire team should bounce back. He's an absolute steal right now at his ADP because you can't really find guys still with that maybe even 100-point potential really in the third, fourth round. So Elias Pettersson, I like him to bounce back this year and smash his ADP.
Wasn't he also like battling through his own injuries?
Yeah.
Other than just their COVID situation, he had his own shit going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really like Elias Pettersson, team-wise, individually-wise. Also, he's got some kind of beef going on with the Canucks where he kind of doesn't really want to play there anymore.
Oh, good.
Might be looking for a new contract pretty soon from another team, so he's looking to impress.
I like the pick. I'm bullish on the Canucks. I think they have a really good team. A lot of people are high on them this year. And if they're going to be good, obviously Elias needs to be their number one scorer.
Yep.
I have someone I really like, and that's Patrick Laine. I think as a bench piece, Patrick Laine is freaking fantastic for your team. And that's literally where he's going right now with a 132 ADP. He was brutal last year, and the drama between him and Torts was just bullshit stirring. Torts is gone now. Obviously, there's a new coach. Laine has the potential to be on line one and PP1 with what he's projected. Obviously, a 40-goal scorer. Sometimes we forget this guy's only 23 years old.
Yep.
He feels older. I don't know why. He feels like 25 or 26.
He came in as an 18-year-old.
You look at his hockey reference, and it says that he had like a 43-goal season in like 2017. That feels so like that's why I felt he was so old. And it's like, guy's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
So his prime years could be ahead of him. I do really like the pick. I think it's worth the risk, especially as a bench piece. He had the highest percentage of shifts starting in the offensive zone for Columbus last year. I don't see that changing, especially since Torts hated him. So I think with the new coach, he's going to get – I think he can only go up here based off 12 goals in 46 games last year.
What do you think, Dev? I'll throw in some comments after.
Yeah, no, I really wanted to chime in on Laine because this is somebody that like I wanted to talk about as well. But like you take a look, and I know we didn't want to get too deep into stats right now, but his like last year, I don't think he really had the green light to shoot very many pucks with Torts being there. I think in 40-something games, he had 80-something shots. He only scored, 12 goals, but his shooting percentage was the same as it's always been. So as soon as he gets that green light to shoot some more, I mean, I don't think that there's any reason we can't get vintage Laine back.
Yeah. I got a pro and a con here with this pick. The pro is, in a points league, you don't find 40-goal upside outside the top 100 very often. Like you guys are saying, he gets a green light to shoot. He's one of the best shooters in the NHL. The con is that Columbus hired from within for their head coach.
I did look at that.
So as an assistant head coach, they're assistant coach they promoted to head coach under the Torch system. The system's still going to be defense first, still going to be puck battles are the number one thing they're going after. So I'm worried that he still won't get that free reign to do anything even strength. Obviously, power play is going to be where he makes his money, but even strength, I'm worried they're going to only start him on offensive zone shifts. He won't get that much ice time. He won't give that much liberty to shoot. As much as we want it to happen, it's still Columbus. So
I do agree that higher within was huge. It means the culture's most likely probably over 80% going to change with the mentality. But hey, who knows?
I'll
Right?
definitely say the same. And
Yeah.
I love it.
concerned.
I'm taking him.
Yeah.
All right, Devin,
Upside.
let's hear it.
Yeah, so I took Tyler Seguin. I was sitting there wondering if he was actually if you could actually consider him a bounce back candidate, given the last time we really saw him, he never fell off of that point per game pace.
Yep.
Like it was never necessarily point per game, but I mean, 79 points, 82 games kind of thing. And Seguin's always been on that type of pace. Now, the last time we saw him, right now he's at an ADP of I think 84 is what I saw him on Yahoo. I know you guys were talking about him earlier, but I think he's actually going a little bit later than that. And I would absolutely take him. I mean, the last time we saw him in fantasy leagues, he was ADP inside the top 20, talking about the top 10 to 15 centers.
Yep.
And at 84, you're in the middle of the 8th round, depending on how many people you have in your league. You probably already have your number one center. You probably already have impact wingers and defensemen and maybe even a goalie. So, I mean, I'm taking a swing on Seguin. He came back last season to play 3 games, scored 2 goals to kind of give everybody that Daniel Ricciardo, I never left type feel.
I love that.
So I think he picks up where he left off and at an absolute steal.
Yeah. I love that one.
I like the pick. I think he's going real late. I think the mock draft we did, he went in the 8th or 9th round.
Yeah, I grabbed him there.
And that's only because Drew grabbed him. So it would have been interesting to see how long it would have taken for one of the computers to take him.
Yeah.
But no, great pick.
I mean, again, another 90-point potential guy.
Yep.
Probably, if he plays all year, 70-point floor. That's the absolute floor. And, I mean, the Stars as a group could bounce back, too.
Yep, I agree.
Maybe it was without him, that's the reason they did so bad.
I think they're going to be back in the playoffs, honestly, with everybody healthy. Seguin wasn't the only one out with injuries. I mean, Radulov barely played. Pavelski had his injury problems too. So,
Yeah, I love the pick.
All right, Drew.
Getting into my second guy here, I'm going with Roman Josi, defender for Nashville. Currently his ADP is going somewhere around the 5th, 6th round. This isn't more about my love for Josi as much as it is my love for defensemen in this part of the draft. And this guy's a guy who won the Norris Trophy only a couple seasons ago. Last year, 8 goals, 25 assists in 48 games. Not amazing, right? Not on that 70 point pace that he was on his Norris Trophy season. But I think he can bounce back into the 55 to 65 point range and be a key contributor for your defensive spots. As long as he's healthy, he loves to join the rush, quarterback the power play. The issue is on the power play how efficient that power play is going to be, right? Without a pure shooter. I mean, Philip Forsberg's relied on more than he probably should be. He's more of a secondary guy, not supposed to be the number one offensive guy on a team. So him being actually the number one offensive guy on the team kind of scares me. But alone, the talent will allow him to bounce back. And if you're looking for defensemen in this range, I think you should be, he's definitely a guy that I think you're getting some upside at the ADP at. What do you guys think about Josi?
That's a good pick. I got screwed over by him last year, picking him in the 3rd round. He disappointed a lot of fantasy managers last year, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone will forgive Josi this fantasy hockey
I think you should
season.
forgive Josi.
my only problem is that every year preseason when we're talking about bounce back candidates, we're always talking about somebody on the Predators.
Yeah.
And I'm going to as well. So I'm no different than you, Drew. But I mean, their power play, they have no excuse with the players that they have not to be good, and they just never are. And I don't know how to make sense of it.
Maybe
But
Tolvanen takes a step forward.
I could see
That would really help Josi and Forsberg's.
So who are you going with, Devin? Going to yours.
Yeah, I took Arvidsson. I mean, another guy that he has not been good the last couple seasons.
Yep.
And I really don't think that that's on him. He's going at an ADP on Yahoo that I saw this morning at 176. I mean, in some cases, you could see him maybe even going undrafted. I mean, did you guys did a mock draft? I think he got taken in the last round, right?
I think Brody took him or Avery.
Avery might have took him.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, he's now on the Kings, right? And on the Kings, he could be the first line there with Kopitar.
Well, that was my thing. In Nashville, you have Johansson and you have Duchesne. Those are two guys that got paid big bucks and really never lived up to it. And you said yourself, Philip Forsberg, more of a secondary role player as well. He needs a good center to be able to step up. And I'm not saying that Arvidsson is going to be a phenomenal, a guy that you're relying your fantasy team on. He definitely needs somebody to play next to him for him to produce. And he definitely has a better chance of doing that in LA with Kopitar, with Danault than he did in Nashville.
Yeah.
I do like bounce backs for guys that are playing on new teams. I think it does make a huge difference. Someone who's had a bad year and goes to a new team, sort of a new excitement in the air, playing with new team. It's a completely...
Arvidsson knows his role on Nashville. Yeah. It's a brand new opportunity in LA, right? Yes. He can do things that he wasn't maybe allowed to do offensively in Nashville. Get chemistry with new guys. I really like that.
And it's just such a reliable top six in LA too. A bunch of guys that are always Selke candidates.
Yeah.
So he's going to have kind of the opportunity, I think, to kind of let loose and fly off the wing and make that dangle. And he's going to be on a lot of highlight reels.
30 goals is within reach, and at last pick in the draft ADP, again, those are the picks that win you the league.
Yeah.
I got an ugly pick here. Ugly. I don't even think he was drafted in our mock draft.
I don't think so.
I'm going to bring out my French here, but it's Pierre Luc-Dubois. Look.
Iffy French.
I looked at stats.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I got a feeling that this guy's going to bounce back this year. He got called out in the playoffs, saying that he looked like shit, which he did look like shit. And then he went up to the press conference and said, I need to be better. I want the Pierre-Luc Dubois that got 61 points in 82 games. That's the guy I want. He's getting undrafted. I mean, his ADP says 172, which is close to the end of drafts. This guy's too talented to not be going off the board. And I think that he's going to be full year now with Winnipeg. Makes a difference. He got drafted halfway through. He was going through that shit with Torts, frickin' Yap. Everyone seems to hate Torts. I don't know what's going on there too now.
Can't figure that out.
He'll probably be back on TSN with the Electric.
Now, he is not projected to be on PP1. But if he's playing to a level where they need to put him on PP1, that could potentially happen. I know we have a Winnipeg Jets insider in our office who claims that Paul Maurice does not like to switch things up ever. But I do think that he potentially could switch things up, or his hand will be forced where you will have to switch things up. But I do like targeting Dubois in the last round. I'll do it in every draft. Just too talented of a player. That guy we saw in playoffs against the Leafs just dominated the ice.
Yep. I love bounce back candidates of guys that got traded to Canadian teams in the COVID era. I mean, he couldn't bring his family. He couldn't go see his friends. This guy was not in his element. And you said yourself, 61 points in 82 games, the last chance that he had an opportunity to just be a normal hockey player.
Yep.
And there's why not, right?
Buckets of potential too for him to grow his game. His dad's within the organization, so
I did not know that.
Yeah, his dad
How
is,
do you know that?
I believe, the coach of the Manitoba Moose. Dubois translates to Forest, actually. I looked that up one time.
What?
So Pierre Forest is what I used to like to call him in my
Sometimes
fantasy
I
group
worry
chat.
about what you search up in your off time.
I thought it meant of the water, Dubois, so it actually means forest.
I
So
can't
Pierre
follow
Forest.
you here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I've always loved Pierre Dubois for fantasy, so been always one of my must drafts. I really like him to bounce back.
All right, so Drew obviously likes Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think Devin
Of the
does
Forest,
too.
yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
definitely.
6 bounce back players for you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and join the Discord so you can go in and
Let us know your bounce back.
yap at Drew or yap at Devin. Ask us questions. Make sure you buy Manscaped. Code BOX for free shipping and 20% off. See you guys next time.